Yo, yo, 1, 2, look, check me out, This is how it was, this is how it is, my nigga, this is how it's gonna be. Yo, yo, look, this is how it was, this is how it is, my nigga, this is how it's gonna be. Yo, yo, should've been a pathfinder, but I'm a rapper instead. You be a fool to think I'ma let niggas stop me from getting this bread. Shedding life for out of sight, 2018, ain't shit changed. It's still fucking blue and white at an all-time low. I take it to newer heights, and yo, finesse switch the nights like Spike, but gotta do the stripes. Pulling up at every event in black sweats, and yo, my mindset like a rhythm roulette. Forever student of the game was never a teacher's pet. Niggas had you cornered like a vignette, thinking for the wolf set. That's what the niggas getting for thinking he gon' take it there. For trying me, but way before that, he ain't really care. Look, and trying to get my hands dirty, fucking with y'all, man. These souls be my name more than Byron. I style on them really wild, but now I'm right half of this shit. My mind got wicked ways of putting shit together on its own. Public enemy, Al Capone raps, they banging at you, I'd rather do that. Up to them to put on their thinking caps, cause this is how it was, this is how it is, my nigga, this is how it's gonna be. Yo, yo, look, this is how it was, this is how it is, my nigga, this is how it's gonna be. Yo, yo, rob shit, nigga. Yo, yo, yo,
The future is ours!
Peace. It's Bronzebird here with another video. Before I begin, like and subscribe. Yeah. So check this out, y'all. So today, I wanted to bring in more expansive topics of conversation into my YouTube journey. I wanted to give more of a light what's going on in the city that I'm from, because I believe that New York is trying to become more progressive with trying to move forward with being more personal with our people. And I mean the human race of people in general, that they're trying to invoke these whole entire thing about vaccine passports, and that now there is an app that you can use for these passports, as before you just use a regular paper booklet for these passports. Now they're trying to digitize passports. And my only pushback I would have to say about this is, if you do have a record for having the coronavirus, will this also be information transferred into this new app because of it? Now, I don't know. Quickly, we're just going to read this article that doesn't have to do with New York, but then I'm going to show you a video about what New York is doing when it comes to these vaccines. And, you know, I've been hearing a lot of things, a lot of talk about how the vaccines themselves are not effective. There is a lot of ailments that come from these vaccines. I will do a video in the future regarding the coronavirus, vaccinations, and vaccines, because I've even heard personally that there have been people who died from the coronavirus vaccines. So this is the first article I'm going to read, and then I'm going to show you the video that's on the news right now. I'll show you a little bit, but let's get into this. So shout outs to the Washington Post. This article says vaccine passports are on the way, but developing them won't be easy, of course, because you're going to get a lot of pushback at first. Shout outs to Dan Diamond, Lena H. Sun, and Isaac Stanley Becker. This is what it says. The Biden administration and private companies are working to develop a standard way of handling credentials, often referred to as vaccine passports, that would allow Americans to prove they have been vaccinated against the novel coronavirus as businesses try to reopen. And before I pledge on, all of this was, I believe, of course, an agenda to basically get more closer to humans, whether it be by phone or actual people. That's what I believe. So these vaccine passports, having your name, having your social security number, all it is telling me and alarming and warning me in my mind that they want to now personalize you, and they want to be able to get to closest you as much as possible. Whether you want to call it Agenda 21 or whatever they're doing, we know for a fact the matter that they're moving more progressively to get closer to you. And as been stated by another YouTuber, they do this rightfully because they view you as a bond number, that you are a commodity to them. Let's continue. The effort has gained momentum amid President Biden's pledge that the nation will start to regain normalcy this summer, and with a growing number of companies, from cruise lines to sports teams, saying they will require proof of vaccination before opening their doors again. Yeah, I know that's right. You know Biden is trying to do that for sure. The administration's initiative has been driven largely by arms of the Department of Health and Human Services, including an office devoted to health information technology, said 5 officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the effort. The White House this month took on a bigger role coordinating government agencies involved in the work, led by coronavirus coordinator Jeff Zients, with a goal of announcing updates in coming days, said one official. The White House declined to answer questions about the passport initiative. Of course they won't, because they have bigger plans in store. Instead, pointing to public statements that Zients and other officials made this month. Sorry I can't pronounce his last name right, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. Our role is to help ensure that any solutions in this area should be simple, free, open source, accessible to people both digitally and on paper, and designed from the start to protect people's privacy. In which they're not really trying to protect people's privacy, because honestly, if you understand me, what's going on in this society, people don't really have a privacy in this society. Whether it be through your phone, your laptop, your desktop, whatever, you don't really have privacy like that. You don't at all, really, but they give you the illusion that you have privacy. They're storing your information as we speak. Zian said at a March 12th briefing, the initiative has emerged as an early test of the Biden administration, with officials working to coordinate across dozens of agencies and a variety of experts, including military officials, helping administer vaccines, and health officials engaging in international vaccine efforts. Of course they are. You know, a lot of people may allude to, the famous camps that they say, quote unquote, conspiracy theorists usually talk about. But y'all know what I mean when I say that, y'all. The passports are expected to be free and available through applications for smartphones, which could display a scannable code similar to an airline boarding pass. Americans without smartphone access should be able to print out the passports, developers have said. Other countries are racing ahead with their own passport plans, with the European Union pledging to release digital certificates that would allow for summer travel. U.S. officials say they are grappling with an array of challenges, including data privacy and healthcare equity. They want to make sure all Americans will be able to get credentials that prove they have been vaccinated, but also want to set up systems that are not easily hacked or passports that cannot be counterfeited, given that foreigners are already starting to appear. One of the most significant hurdles facing federal officials, the sheer number of passport initiatives underway, with the Biden administration this month identifying at least 17, according to slides obtained by the Washington Post. Those initiatives, such as a World Health Organization-led global effort and a digital pass devised by IBM that is being tested in New York State, are rapidly moving forward, even as the White House deliberates about how best to track the shots and avoid perception of a government mandate to be vaccinated. One of the teams working on vaccine passports is the Vaccination Credential Initiative, a coalition endeavoring to standardize how data in vaccination records is tracked. I'm trying to see if I get the last one. The busboy, the janitor, the waiter that works at a restaurant wants to be surrounded by employees that are going back to work safely, who wants to have the patrons ideally be safe as well, said Brian Anderson, a physician at Metre, a nonprofit company that runs federally funded research centers, who is helping lead the initiative, creating an environment for those vulnerable populations to get back to work safely and to know that the people coming back to their business are safe and vaccinated would be a great scenario. All right, let me read this last part, guys, so I can show you the video. Anderson's team is aiming to release its free software standards in April, hoping developers will use them to help build digital vaccine records that allow people to show they have been inoculated. The vaccination credential initiatives include the Mayo Clinic, Microsoft, Bill Gates is involved, and more than 225 other organizations, many of which have pledged to use the code when administering shots. So to people out there that's in denial, like America is trying not so hard, trying to tell y'all that they're not trying to force you to get these shots. You know they're lying, right? You know that they are trying to get every single US citizen to get those shots. They are. They're going through extreme, tremendous efforts to get y'all to take them shots. I just want y'all to be aware. Biden administration officials privately acknowledged their high stakes of the effort. Proof of vaccination may be a critical driver for restoring baseline population health and promoting safe return to social, commercial, and leisure activities, according to the March 2nd slides prepared by the Office of the National Coordinator for Health Information Technology and obtained by the Post. But officials at the session, attended by more than 150 staff from the Health, Defense, Homeland Security, and other departments, and even far-flung agencies such as NASA, warned of the confusing array of efforts underway to create credentials. God damn. So this is all just, I want to get to the video, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you would like to see more of this article, I'll put this on my page. So this right here is talking about the vaccine passport that New York is doing. New York, if a lot of people is interested, right now they're having certain businesses open up, but even such as eateries itself, eateries is only operating at a 30% capacity. So not a lot of people can be in the restaurants. At max, you'll probably see about maybe 5 to 6 people in a restaurant, depending how small it is. I usually see the small restaurants with a small amount of people. And with that being said, besides that, when it comes to the ridership of the MTA New York City subway, they actually went to 1 million, back to 1 million or 5 million ridership. That is, before then, it was way less than that. So things slowly is coming back to New York, but at the end of the day, everything, like I said, they trying it. And New York is definitely one of the type of the powerhouse for what they're trying to do now. So let me play this clip right here. So peep.
Pandemic world could operate. New York rolling out a new app some people call a COVID passport, a one-stop shop that stores your tests and vaccine status and notifies businesses and venues. Madison Square Garden will be one of the first places to use it. News 4's Adam Harding is there live now. And Adam, how does it work?
Well, Gebel, we know testing is so important to making sure that venues like Madison Square Garden behind us can open up safely. The city and state now promoting this new app that they hope will serve as essentially a COVID passport. Like when you go to the airport, you've got all of your documents in one place. Everyone we spoke with, some of them say this could be a potential game changer.
Yep, the city is coming back all right, and the crowds in Midtown are building fast. Now the state is hoping its new Excelsior app can help speed things up even more.
Would I have to join an app situation?
You would have to download
it. I wouldn't be able to do that.
And
let me say this. I believe, naturally I'm a contrarian. I don't believe in stuff like this. I mean, I think the old state ID and having just documentation that you have by hand is appropriate. But I understand why they're doing this because of the fact of the matter that they want less contact as much as possible. But my thing is, as an overview, the reason why I say I don't agree with it is because I know they've been planning this for a long time. This is not just something they just did out of thin air. They wanted a basis to go ahead and digitize society rather than just going back to the good old ID in your hand. So that everywhere you go in there, they say, where's your ID? You got to show them on your phone. You understand me? So that they want to do that instead of just a good old ID because they want to get rid of the IDs. Now they want to make it more personal. Now they have more of your information from your phone. So every contact, your date of birth, who you are, what's your name, all these different things, they have it stored right there. They're just using the vaccine as an alibi. Now, a lot of people may think, Bronzebird, you're talking crazy. No, I'm not talking crazy. This is what they plan on doing. So the thing about it is, first, they want to force you to get the vaccine and tell you you have to get the vaccine in order to go back into society, number one. Number two, then they'll tell you they want all of your information on your phone and your data backed up so that you can be able to be scanned by a code in order to go into the events, restaurants, whatever you want to call it. We'll then go into transportation because obviously they have something called OMNY by the MTA, which I'll show probably a little bit after this clip, which is my theory.
Allen might need some convincing, but she's open to anything that can get her back to a Broadway show. It is what she loves.
You know, I want to get back to the theater as soon as possible, yeah.
Who doesn't?
A lot of people don't, but I do. It was part of my life, a very important part of my life.
The first of its kind app will serve as almost a COVID passport for anyone to use at major sports and entertainment venues. It will authenticate someone's vaccination or show proof of a recent negative COVID test. It all sounds like a win to Father Louis Skirty.
Very convenient because I had both shots and I have, of course, the card. I laminated it just so I always have it with me. But the idea of having it as an app and just showing it where you go, whatever venues, I think it's a great idea, very convenient.
Do you think it will help open the city up quicker?
Please, I hope so. I think so.
The state today also announcing a major milestone, 8.5 million vaccines administered, more than 1 million just in the last week.
This is one of the most exciting days in this fight against COVID.
The mayor, meantime,
Big Bird, Mayor de Blasio.
touring Citi Field as more vaccines were distributed to city workers. The stadium will soon be hosting baseball games, but for now, it's still a site used in the war on COVID.
So, Gilma, that app is now available for download. There's a second version of it for businesses that can download an app that can scan all of your information. That way it can make things easier. The hope of...
Yep, scan all of your information, people. Understand what he just said. Scan all of your information. The idea about it, like I said before, is that they're digitizing it so that they don't have to deal with the complications of you carrying around an ID in your wallet as opposed to your phone. To get more of your information to be digitized, to get personally to you.
Of course, that will help businesses attract more customers, and it can help open the city and the state up that much quicker. But to all of those who are a little concerned about having to download an app, it is not a requirement, just something the state believes will make things even easier.
They say it's not a requirement, but they're going to make it a requirement as the years go on. However long this COVID thing goes on, this pandemic, whatever you want to call it, as far as it goes, the whole entire idea is that they want to digitize you. It's going to be easier on apps and phones, but then it's soon going to be actually you. You understand? And if you don't believe me or you agree, make sure that you comment in the comment section about what you believe this is. Otherwise than that, peace.